An older, wiser part of you. Wise old woman. Wise old man. Or a character like Yoda. Some wise character. Okay? So you bring that forward and have that part help them. Maybe they'll be in a circle. Maybe they'll all be on one side. For her, they were all in here, but some of them had to go over here. Again, let the person lead you. Let them lead you. You can try a few things. Musuda.
When they all went here, it means that they're in the past?
Well, it could mean that.
Mm-hmm. And they're small, very small.
Yeah, they're small and in the past, which means they're there. You can access them and their learnings. And you have a feedback loop. They're not right in your face. It's usually not useful to have them right in your face. Okay. So does that answer your question? And then reintegrate them. So you're disintegrating them or disassociating them. You're disintegrating yourself in some ways so that you can evolve parts and bring it back in. Okay? Questions about the process itself? Any other questions? Yes.
It's not specifically related to this, but I was just thinking there are some people who create all these amazing parts, put them together in a book and make lots of money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the next step.
Yeah. I encourage that.
I think Alice Munro talking, or like they're modeling or questioning how she creates her characters. And she said that she'll get them going, like she'll start thinking about them, but after a while she'll sleep or leave them alone and come back and they interact a lot. She writes down what they've interacted.
What they did, yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Different thinking about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Channeled through her unconscious mind.
Yeah.
But isn't that what Edison did when he was creating things, that he would take a nap and unconsciously come up with the solution to what he needed in order to be
Same with the guys who came up with the concept of DNA.
Really?
Yeah.
So there was
They worked on it consciously for a while.
Huh.
And then one day, I think it was Crick, I'm not sure, was napping or resting outside and he got the helix vision and bingo.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, and Brent was asking a question during the break of, is my feeling of fuzzing out or going like this because I'm accessing and exercising parts of myself I never had before? Yes, and that's okay, and they'll go. Consciously, you can only handle so many bits of information, and then you go into overload. Trust that. Ask your unconscious mind to continue the learning, take it at a deep level, and you'll notice it triggered in different ways.
Like if we want to do this thing with some client and they are not accepting the idea. I mean, even like I'm thinking about back home, and maybe when I tell somebody like part of you this and part of you this, maybe it seems for them what I'm talking.
Insane. That's insane.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to say. So how are you going to, I mean, if they like part of them also, or they just resist the idea itself?
Then you frame it in words that matches their reality.
Okay.
So you might say there are different aspects to every situation. If you were to talk about this aspect of it, what might you notice? So you don't talk about parts at all.
Okay.
It's different aspects of a situation.
Okay.
Or you might have many friends who view this situation in different ways. What might Dr. So-and-so say? Or what might Nurse so-and-so say? So you can do it through that.
And not need, I mean, even if they are not believing in it, it still can work.
So in medical terms, very often you can do it in, if your stomach had a voice,
Okay.
what might it be telling you? I use a process that Nathaniel Brandon taught me. I don't think he invented it, but it's associated with him, called sentence completion. So you give someone the beginning of a sentence to say and ask them to make it complete by giving it an ending. And the ending doesn't have to be true or important. And you have them repeat the same sentence stem 5 to 15 times with a new ending. So one way to use this is with parts. So if they have trouble seeing, hearing, or feeling a part as separate from themselves, you can say, especially in health situations, if my headache could talk, it would say blank. If my headache could talk, it would say, and have them, that really stirs up that communication, gets it going. Especially if you tell them it doesn't have to be true or important, and you'll start to notice a pattern. If it's important, you'll notice a shift in their body. Something will happen and go, oh, there it is. If they say, well, what if I can't think of anything? You said, make up an ending. Remember, it doesn't have to be important or true. And you get them going in a pattern and have them just keep repeating it. And you'll get an idea and they'll get an idea that you'll follow and then create another sentence stem to give to them. It's a way of talking. So for now, let's try talking this way, because we have a room full of people who are in touch with all of their parts. So get into 5 groups of 3. What we're going to do is in an hour and 5 minutes, at 5 minutes to noon, I'll ask you to come back. And now I understand you may not be done, and that's okay. We'll find out when we all come back together where you are after lunch, how much more time you need. All right? Other questions? Go have fun. Which groups are complete with all 3 people? Okay. So I'm assuming the rest of you need more time. How much more time after lunch do you need?
We have 2.
We had 2.
You have 2 to go or 2 done?
To finish.
2 to go.
2 to go.
I know. Yeah,
All right.
They have 1 to
You have 1 to go.
Yeah, we have 1 to go as well.
They had 4 in the group. Okay. No.
You're counting that part.
Oh, my other car. Okay. Yeah, so he's not here.
All right. So what we'll do is after lunch, set aside. I'll set aside 40 minutes to finish. And those of you have finished, we will right after lunch go over a new exercise. So what we'll do is those who have finished will do the new exercise. Those who have not will finish up and then do as many people with the new exercise as they can. So that's what we'll do. Questions, comments, sharings. Yes, Monet?
Parts have parts.
Wow!
Stretching out.
Parts had parts. Fascinating. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I noticed when Ken was working with our partner, Masuda, that sometimes when she says parts have parts, one part was kind of like dealing with several different parts.
Oh, yeah. They relate to one another.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Alliances. Yeah. Yes.
I noticed that I had one part that taught all of my other parts things. And there was that one part that had the answer for all of it.
So one part taught other part things, and one part had answers for all of it. That's the parts have parts, yeah. You'll never be lonely again, will you?
The presupposition is that we've been lonely.
Yes, Monet.
Well, Matt had some amazing parts. He had parts that merged into each other. And then he had parts, like he had one part that would speak for the other parts.
A spokesperson. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have different levels of intensity, different roles, different relationships. Yeah, it means you have some integration already. There's that integration of how they all work. It can be fascinating having conversations with all the different parts of yourself, especially when you know they all have positive intention.
The question that I asked before was, can we do this for ourselves if we have a situation or problem we'd like to work on?
Yes, so Oliver had asked during the break, can we do this for ourselves? Yes. I have parts parties all the time. Don't, well, this is already on tape. We're
Yeah.
One way to do it when you're alone is also to write out the different parts. Give them voice with your pen. Is a good way to do it. Have an ongoing discussion in that way. Well, and as Blair said earlier, there are some writers that start communicating with internal parts and then externalize them in books. You can do this with a notebook. Make sure that you do go for positive intention and you re-internalize them because you want to be whole. Yeah. So yeah, do it with yourself in many ways. All right. Are you ready for lunch? A break? Uh-huh. We'll see you back here at 1:30. Here we go. For those of you who have finished in your groups, you're going to go back to your group that you were with, and you're going to do this new strategy. And those of you who are not finished yet, you will finish what you're doing and then move on to this strategy. So I will demonstrate it. It is in section 6 on page 17, a brief view of it. The 2 pages earlier than that are more complex view of it. It is very similar to what you've been doing. Did you notice, Chris, that she moves faster with that hat on? There's something...
What can I say?
It is actually simpler than what you've been doing. And I will show you the steps and then demonstrate it, and you'll see why it's simpler. How it's a little different. This is the 6-step reframing. Because there are 6 steps to it. Isn't that amazing? Step number 1, identify the behavior you want to stop doing. Now this is specific to something you've been doing and you want to stop it. But for some reason you haven't been able to stop it. All right? You're going to, that's A. B is going to establish communication with the part that generates this behavior. By that, I mean, this is a yes and a no. It's very simple. That's why it's simple. Will you communicate with me? Yes or no? If no, you ask it in a different way, and we'll show you. It's almost always parts will. Now, how do you know if it's yes or no? People will, if you watch them with your wonderful sensory acuity, do you have will this part that generates this behavior be willing to speak to us now? You'll get like that. You'll get an image, perhaps. They will get an image of that part of them. Somehow will show up, or voice, or feeling. Okay? Just yes or no. Talk to that part and find out its intention in doing this behavior. When you get to an acceptable level, and this doesn't have to be at a meta level, it can be just one level up that's acceptable, then you do a conditional close with it. If I can come up with a behavior for you that would do this intention even better, would you be willing to do it? Yes or no? It's a conditional close. Agreement that you make with this part. That if you can create a better way to do what it's trying to do for you, will it let go of the old behavior? Then you're going to create alternative behaviors. Now this is where you elicit your creative part, or the person's creative part. We all have one. We all have one, or we couldn't even get through our day. So you say, well, the creative part communicate with us now.